I'm a screenwriter, and my fans of my site are screenwriters, so I want to ask you guys about your writing process. Can you talk about that?
The writing process for the show is basically we use the Curb Your Enthusiasm model, which is we spend a ton of time on an outline and dry erase board it all. That's the same way we do Curb, same way we did Seinfeld. It's just you make sure the structure works. It's all structure, structure, structure. The story's funny. Then you can spend a few days writing a script, or you can get very funny people and put them on set and go and basically let them talk through the scene. And then we rewrite basically on the fly as we're shooting.
The same way you do on the floor of SNL or any half-hour comedy that's a multi-cam.
Do you have kind of that beat the line Judd Apatow approach where
Exactly.
And our guys are hilarious, and we're throwing out stuff. So it basically, when you're shooting, it seems like the floor of the stock exchange of comedy, because everyone's throwing stuff out. But none of that works unless you have a good, solid structure, and you already know why the scene's funny. You know why Pete's supposed to be there. You know why Kevin's supposed to be there, and they know what their attitudes are. And then you can start to have fun digressions off of that.
The fun part is having the digressions on set, like you say, the Judd Apatow model would be the line. The hard part is that we always start writing every year when we get picked up. So there are a good 7 to 8 months prior to when we start shooting of us just breaking stories, coming up with season arcs, working on characters. I mean, creating things that require long lead time for art and props, like a 7-foot lavender Elmo-looking thing called Mr. McGiblets. So it's a lot of that, and then the fun stuff is the dialogue that we get to semi-improvise.
And this is a method that you guys used on Seinfeld and Curb, right?
The only difference between Seinfeld and Curb is that for Seinfeld we wrote the script, and for Curb we don't. But you're still spending the exact same time. All of the work is the structure. It's all looking at literally doing a dry erase board and doing a comedy geometry and going, how do these connect? All right, this whole thing we thought was the show. No, that's the first act. And once you have that, the rest is easy.
I was looking at one of your new episodes yesterday, and I noticed that you covered a lot of ground in the episode, story-wise. There was a lot of scenes. Do you have more scenes on your show than other sitcoms or more setups?
We have a major problem with our writing, is that we refuse to write the number of scenes that a 20-minute, 45-second show should have. So every time we say, we promise ourselves we're going to only write 14 to 16 scene episodes, and then we end up writing 24 scene episodes, and we end up having to move and cajole and manipulate FX into giving us slightly more time, or squeezing the shows down. But I think one of the reasons that we end up overwriting it is that we like the density. And I think, our show feels very dense. I feel like it feels dense with story, it feels dense with character, it feels dense with jokes. So it feels like there's not a lot of lag time, and they're really poppy and really fast. And I think that comes from the thing that we do that we shouldn't do, which is overwrite them and then be forced to cut them down so there's no slow lag time.
And what's the key to writing a great pilot? I know there's more than a couple things, but what are the big things for you guys?
Great characters, and make sure that you have funny stories for it. And I guess that's coming from... I got beat by Taco in the Fantasy Football League this year. Like the most public yet of my many humiliations. The key is having funny characters and very good stories that illuminate who those characters are. So you're not just talking about it. You're not saying the same thing over and over again to different people. Always has to move.
It's starting to rain.
Okay, great.
Hi.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.